How's it going, chumps? I'm just doing a quick update. This is day 9 of the Tanuki trade. Well, now it's just a Jade Lizard because in the previous video, if you recall, the Tanuki, we took off the extra long position to lock in some profits. And now we're just simply left with the original Jade Lizard. And if you recall, I actually took off a $70 winner on that long call, and we're just left with this profit zone right here on the what remains to be the Jade Lizards. So Tanukis, apparently, when you chop off their balls, you get lizards. And so now we're sort of floating in the kind of the body of the lizard itself. So we can just let this one cook. Basically, we still have 22 days. Yeah, so I did about a 30-day. This is day 8 or 9. And we got 22 days to go. February 23rd is the expiration on this one. Yeah, and I would just say let it cook. Whatever the P&L loss on this position right here, it's negligible, primarily because of the fact that we've received credit for this. So we received the full credit on this position, the full 143. So realistically speaking, we don't have to worry about any kind of like P&L loss current right now, or open rather. We're not closing this position unless, as time moves on, you see that dotted line right there. We're probably in like a good profit zone, maybe like around here. And this is basically just 1 day, 2 days away from expiration. So realistically speaking, not really any interest in sort of closing the position early. Just let it cook. And then if we obviously move into this red zone right here, definitely don't care, because at that point we are accepting assignment of 100 shares of Soxel at 30.50, which will be totally fine, because by that time period, this right here, this 100 shares of Soxel will basically be paired off with this 19 cover call right here. That will then wipe my slate clean. I'll have 100 shares of Soxel at 30.05. But realistically speaking, what that tells me in terms of where the semiconductors are going, or just even the overall market, is that all the euphoria that we've just basically pushed into end of December is gonna be wiped out essentially, and then that will inform what my next trades will be anyway. So to take an assignment at 30.50 is basically a bellwether to allow me to know this is the time to basically kind of pause and wait for what we would consider a bottom, and then go ahead and start selling short puts or short put like positions and strategies from that point on, because we're reaching a point in which stocks are not as overpriced, and then we can go ahead and just repeat the wheel. And again, this all started off with an experiment on how do you capitalize on the upside move past your typical J Lizard, while being able to maintain protection in the event. I still have my J Lizard, and I still have the profits, right? The 70 something dollars that I got from closing that super long position, right? So I milk that. Now I have 70 something dollars in my pocket, which is extra money on top of if I were to hit maximum profit on this Jade Lizard. But in the event that the stock price pushes way far out, I'll collect my $70 plus my 43. So I'll collect $100, which is actually more than what I would have gotten in a traditional Jade Lizard if I had just simply put this position on, while still maintaining this downside protection that I have created for myself from 9 days ago, when like stocks were, I think the stock was like at $36 at the time. So we've dropped a good solid, $4, right? $4 and some change. Who knows what might happen next? And this is the reason why sort of having kind of like a pseudo defined risk strategy, I wouldn't really call this defined, it's like semi defined, is helpful when you want to not get blown away on an upside move. But we're not as concerned about downside moves, because what does downside moves mean for people who do wheel strategies? Opportunity for cheaper shares. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll see you in the next one.